To find yourself, you must first empty your mind. Let go of the thoughts that bind you and listen to the quiet truth that lives beneath them. Once upon a time, in a quiet little village surrounded by misty green mountains, there lived a young man named Mike, just 20 years old. Though still so young, his heart was restless. His mind never seemed to rest, always tangled in thoughts of what was and what might be. He often replayed past mistakes, wishing he could go back and fix them. Then, in the very next breath, he'd worry about the future, wondering if happiness would ever find him. Day by day, his thoughts became a storm that never ceased. He couldn't sleep peacefully, couldn't smile sincerely, and slowly lost the calm within himself. Even surrounded by peaceful fields and kind villagers, Mike felt empty and alone. He tried to keep himself busy, but the harder he worked, the louder his mind became. Sometimes he wished he could silence all the noise, just for a moment of stillness, but he didn't know how. Deep inside, he longed for one thing only: inner peace. One morning, as Mike sat by a stream, he overheard villagers talking about a wise old man living far up the mountain. They said he had once been a famous psychologist in the city, helping people overcome fear, heal their minds, and rediscover peace. When he grew old, he left the noise of the city behind and chose a quiet life surrounded by nature, where people now came seeking his wisdom. Hearing this, a spark of hope lit within Mike's heart. Maybe this man could help him. Without hesitation, he decided to begin the journey. Though the path was long and uncertain, Mike carried one belief: that at the end of it, he would find the answer. And so, with hope in his heart, he started climbing the mountain, not just in search of a teacher, but of himself. Days passed as Mike walked through winding trails and steep cliffs, until he finally reached a small, peaceful village hidden among pine trees. There, at the end of the road, stood a small cottage covered in ivy. On the porch sat an old man with white hair and gentle eyes, his face calm and kind. Mike bowed respectfully. "Sir," he said softly, "my mind is always in chaos. I can't stop thinking, can't sleep, can't find peace within myself. Can you help me?" The old man slowly opened his eyes, a warm smile forming on his lips. "You seek peace, do you?" he said. "Then come with me. I have a small task for you." Without another word, he led Mike to the backyard, where a simple wooden table stood. On it was a clear glass filled to the brim with water. "Take this glass," the old man said gently. "Walk to the end of the village and back, but do not spill a single drop." Mike looked puzzled, but nodded. Carefully, he lifted the glass and began walking. The path was narrow and busy. Children laughing, dogs barking, merchants calling out. Yet Mike saw none of it. His eyes were fixed only on the glass, every step steady and deliberate. When he finally returned, he sighed with relief. "Sir, I did it. Not a single drop spilled." The old man smiled. "Very good," he said. "But tell me, on your way, did you see the children playing? Did you hear the dogs or the people calling?" Mike shook his head. "No, sir. I didn't notice anything. I was too focused on the glass." The old man's eyes softened. "That, my son, is the secret to peace. When your mind is fully present, not lost in the past, not afraid of the future, all chaos fades away. Your heart becomes still like the calm water in that glass." Mike stood silently, the truth sinking in. For so long he had been trapped in his thoughts, wandering between what was and what might be, forgetting the now. The old man smiled again. "Remember," he said, "peace isn't out there somewhere. It's within you, when you choose to live fully in this moment." A deep sense of calm filled Mike's heart. He finally understood. Peace wasn't something to find, it was something to feel. When he left the old man's home at sunset, the golden light touched the village path, and for the first time in years, Mike felt light, as if the storm inside him had finally gone quiet. Mike was no longer the anxious young man he once was. As the sun dipped below the horizon, he smiled, a genuine smile, the first in many weary years. Now he understood that true calm doesn't come from running away from the world, but from learning to master one's own mind. With every step he took on the path back home, he felt lighter, freer. For the first time, Mike realized that what he had been searching for all along wasn't somewhere out there. It had always been within him, the quiet peace of his own heart. In stillness, you'll find yourself. In silence, you'll find truth. Thank you for being here. walking this journey with me. Subscribe to hear more whispers of wisdom and peace.